Okay.
We're on.
Welcome to the Church of Mabus radio show. Welcome to my own personal apocalypse. Tonight will be a very revealing night into the alternate reality of the United States. What if Vlad the Impaler ruled the United States right now in America? A fantasy scenario that have a fetish for, and I was thinking of sometimes I sit back and think of a story idea. Oh, you're listening to United Public Radio 107.7 FM New Orleans, United Public Radio, Joe Montaldo, the man, the legend. But anyway,
And myth the legend.
back to my sickness. And sometimes I have this idea about a serial killer that's Vlad the Impaler that does modern deaths and sets it up at that level of stakedom and like leaves it in the backyard. I mean, in the front yards of the victims and stuff like that. And I'm like, gosh, I'm not going to really ever do that. It seems like something would like for me to, but I'm not going to go Jeffrey Dahmer anytime soon. But anyway, a fiction horror book would be a good idea. But I like those alternate reality Vlad the Impaler Dracula situations. There's a lot of weird books like that out there.
How about Vlad as a physician, and he changes your blood the old-fashioned way?
Yeah, and
You know.
I thought of what about Vlad the Impaler as a the president of the United States, and he like ties senators to nuclear warheads, and he's like, "Well, you're gonna nuke us, we're gonna nuke the whole thing, baby," which is kind of like how it is right now. But
as president, I guarantee you, if we had a vampire for president, we would definitely all have much better prices on steak. We'd have much better refrigeration to keep our steaks fresh and warm or cold, and that'd be good because right now steak is almost unaffordable.
well, last week we had Michelle Garza about her wild or Western splattered book, and then Christina was on in the second hour, and we talked about a lot of different things from skinwalkers to spirituality to experiences and things like that. And basically, we've been having Dead Sky Publishing on, and because I really like Weird West, and they are a company called Dead Sky Publishing, and they make books called Splatter Western, which is kind of like Weird West but grosser. And I really like the genre, and that's why I've been the last three shows or so. We've had three or four of their authors on, and
It it seems to me the genre would, if it was to go video, would be like in the style like that Spartan movie 300, and that detective movie that's like kind of black and white, but all the blood and gore was in color. You know what I'm talking about? I
yeah,
can't remember the name of the movie, but yeah, but those are splatter gore movies genre. That would be, I would think that would be the best way to produce those.
it's like
Some of those,
they say it's like splatter punk, but splatter western, which I've heard of
yeah,
splatter punk. I don't know if I've ever read any splatter punk, but I've
I
certainly
couldn't
heard of
tell
it.
you.
I've heard of it, but basically, you know, Wiley Young is the last 30 minutes tonight, and about his book, A Few Souls More, which is like a few dollars more.
Oh,
And
cool.
and then next week is R.H. Latch about his comic book, Bone Tribe, which is kind of neat. You ever see the one, God, now I forget the name of it, Bone Tomahawk, with Kurt Russell and Sid Haig, you know, the clown from, uh,
I know
uh,
who Sid Haig is. I know the actor.
yeah,
Yeah, I know who. He
look
was
up
Tiger Man in Buck Rogers.
oh, was he?
Yeah.
Bone Tomahawk is a Weird West with Kurt Russell, and I'm looking it up right now. It's on streaming. I forget which place. I saw it on there recently. I've seen it a long time ago, and I need to watch it again. It's on Hulu, but it's Bone Tomahawk's peculiar genre blend won't be for everyone, but its gripping performances and a slow burning story should satisfy those in search of something different. And it's got a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. But basically, it is it's Weird West, and you should check it out. You got Hulu?
I do. Yes.
Well, there you go. Bone Tomahawk. Hey, 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 hey.
I'll have to check that out. I'm looking at Buck Rogers right now to see what parts. I know Sid Haig was in it, but I'm not sure
I
when
think
or where.
uses the word troglodyte about the weird cannibal things in the movie. He uses some kind. Somebody says troglodytes.
Troglodytes.
I
Yeah,
said it right the first time.
yeah, you did.
but and Weird West is really good. I love it, and I got a bunch of their books for doing it. So hey, I'm poor, so there you go.
Yeah,
Other than that, I
Sid
wouldn't
Haig
know.
is in 2 episodes, and he plays a character called Pratt.
Pratt,
Yeah,
Pratt,
Pratt in Buck Rogers across the 25th dimension or whatever.
You
And
ever see that old Star Trek Continues? Was that you that told me about that? The one that's like got weird actors in it, and there's like a site and stuff. It's called Star Trek
yeah,
Continues.
it's a fan site. Yeah, they do their I think they might be filming in Kingsland, Georgia. I think is where their studio is. I'm not really certain, but yeah, they do some pretty good stuff, and they have a guy who looks like a very young Bill Shatner from the '60s. So it's pretty
What was
close.
that about? Something about sexual allegations or something about him or
Oh, I
something.
don't know. There could be. Yeah,
You
I
told me.
don't really follow them that
I
much,
may,
but
I may be wrong, but I could have sworn somebody said something weird like that about that. But don't quote me on that. I haven't seen it, but I saw it on a torrent site recently, and then I know there's like a whole site where you can just watch it for free.
yeah.
So I haven't seen it yet, but why did they cancel it? I wonder.
Well, it's like I said, it's fan run, and it's
Oh,
like basically donation based production quality. I have one of their DVDs upstairs. Um, they I think this one they actually filmed at the same place. It's called Vasquez Rocks in California, where a couple of episodes of the original series were filmed, and it's a pretty good episode. The special effects are decent. The costumes are spot on. I mean, as far as the look of the original '60s, they got it.
yeah, and they didn't have more seasons or anything.
They're more like episodic things. It's more like a 2 hour episode rather than. Oh, there goes my lights again. I don't know why that is. Maybe I want to turn on 3 of them.
It's a light that it puts on the wall.
No, it's my studio lights. They're all plugged into like a USB port, and
So
I have
what's up
four.
with that new laptop? How's it doing?
You can see there's a whole. You can see a whole lot more of the office than you did on the last camera. You can even see my little white tiger fella way up top there. So it's it's fantastic. It's a very nice computer.
Samsung.
Dell Inspiron.
Okay, okay. And yeah, that's a good one. And I mean, I had a Dell die recently, but it was pretty old, and it may be able to be fixed, but it's
Yep.
definitely an older Dell.
The
But
one, the notebook that died was a Lenovo. This is what I was on before, and it just went to the blue screen of death, and I could never get it to go back to the main page again. So it turned its toes up and died.
I mostly use I have a gaming PC that's just a badass. But I mean, as far as laptops, I mean, I need to get another one at some point. But my biggest problem with it is that they're just not all of them, but my hands. Like I already have arthritis from being on a computer too long, and sometimes that weird little mouse on them, like the little stroll it
Ooh,
with your
little scroll
finger.
pad, yeah,
That have that. They all do, don't they? That don't they
yeah.
all? Yeah. But a lot of times it's a pain in the ass, ain't it? You got to just like plug in
The
a
pain in
mouse.
the index finger, actually, but yeah, you're right. It is. It can give you carpal tunnel just as bad.
Yeah, and then a lot of times you'll go to use that mouse and it'll enlarge your browser, like to
Yeah,
the.
if you two finger it and do like that, your browser will expand or contract.
I always end up using like a mouse you plug in with a laptop.
Well, this one's got a touchscreen, so I can do that with the browser
Oh,
now
well,
on the
that's
screen.
good.
So I don't have if I do make that mistake with the mouse pad, I can go oop and shrink it back.
Yeah, that's good that you have
Yeah,
that. Sure, that's a lot better. But I mostly just use a gaming PC, and my Dell, it was old. God, it had to be over 10 years old. I think it croaked, but it might be able to be saved. You never know. I've resurrected it before from the dead.
yeah.
You thought it
It,
wasn't going to work.
well, what fascinates me, I mean, you saw how thin that thing was. even thinner, or like a cell phone. And think about this. We were talking about this at work the other day. This that I have in my hand, this little cell phone, it costs $600, has enough computing power in it to run the Gemini, the Mercury, and the Apollo space programs combined. You take all the computers that ran those programs, and you can run all of them from this phone. That's how smart these smartphones are. And we're
Yeah.
just thinking about is how little data they actually were able to put on those machines going to the moon. And we think there was like less than a megabyte of data that's in these computers that run the computers that we went to the moon with. Can you imagine that? You have basically the most advanced machine on the planet taking you to the moon, and it's little better than like an advanced calculator.
Yeah,
It's really what it is.
that's crazy for sure. And
It's
the
it's
way,
it's nuts to think of what those guys were doing. It really is.
anyway, back to the Vlad the Impaler thing. My point with that, it just seems like a lot of our leaders are just old puss toots in it for themselves, and that's all of them that I see. Where's King Arthur? Where's Vlad the Impaler? Where's Attila the Hun?
Well,
Some,
yeah, it does seem that way.
yeah,
You
I'll
look
take
back at
Abraham
history.
Lincoln. I'll take Abraham Lincoln or something. That's good. I'll
Well,
do that.
he was
George.
fairly old when he was president. I mean, he was what? How old was he? 42 or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Google, how old was President Lincoln when he was first president?
On the website c.edu, they say Abraham Lincoln became president at the age of 52. Though Lincoln
52.
was involved with the Whig Party, which was formed to oppose Andrew Jackson in his use of
Okay, Google,
military
stop.
power.
All right, so 52. That's still fairly old. It's in mid age, but youngest president is JFK, 35. Well, where are the guys that are young and young and fit? They don't have that.
Yeah, they all seem crazy.
You look back to all of. I mean, maybe Teddy Roosevelt was a fairly fit fella because he was going out, hunting bears and what have you, the frontiersman, whatever. But maybe besides George Washington, there really aren't that many badass presidents you can really think of that were,
Yeah.
You look at Putin. He's a strong, fit fellow. He's a douche, but he's fit and he's fairly young. He's probably in his 60s, I think. But
Yeah, here's
in
the
the history of
ranking.
leaders throughout the world, they're very young leaders. Don't last very long.
They just don't impress me. I don't want to vote for any of them at this point. They're just boring. But
Yeah, we have sad choices for sure.
and Trump is like purposely quoting Hitler now. Like it just gets weirder and weirder. Like really saying Hitler quotes. Like it's not just MSM making it. He's really saying weird Hitler stuff. Like it's like a parallel weird reality. I just don't even understand
But
anymore.
he's basically making the point he can say whatever he wants. They've already won the election for him just by all the bad press they've put him under for the last year and a half or whatever. He's in like Flint.
Weird. There's weird videos of him next to that Mussolini dude that was a dictator or whatever. And
Yeah, Mussolini was Italy in
have
1940.
you seen the video of Trump and him, and they're making these same like weird facial expressions and movements that are just really like the same. It's like he's mimicking them. I don't know, or maybe it's the same spirit. Like Eric would say, it's the Mabus Antichrist spirit. It's Sauron, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I'll have to send it to you. It's weird. Like it really is. He's like doing similar, like the just I don't know what the hell it is, but they are similar, doing similar facial things. like
I haven't seen that, but it doesn't surprise me that he has similar mannerisms to a former. I mean, even though he's a dictator, it doesn't mean Trump is one. It just uh,
he
it
studies
seems.
them. I think.
But I've recognized those kind of behaviors. You see, the way certain actors act, like particularly physical comics. I've watched the Three Stooges a lot, and I just recently watched the recent Three Stooges movie with Sean Hayes, and it's pretty good. Those guys did a really really good job of getting the physical comedy down to where the point is it's virtually seamless. They look quite like the original Stooges guys, except for the guy who's playing Curly. He's like 6'2". Curly was like 5'4". Other than that, they had the manners way down. It was like watching an original with the originals.
I know they say he's tweeted Mussolini stuff, which I don't know what. I found the video. I'm just trying to figure out how to send it.
You can hit the present button, and you can share it on the screen here.
Okay, hold on.
You didn't know you could do that?
I know you can do it. I just don't ever use it. But
Yeah, give it a shot, man.
I'll make sure there's nothing else on my computer that I don't want anyone to see.
Yeah, hide the porn first, and then
Weird stuff, any strange things. But let me see how you do it. Present.
I'll ask you to share the window.
Screen. But where do you go after that? Oh,
You
Mussolini.
got to select the screen you want to show in the middle.
Window. Entire screen.
Mm-hmm.
Share. Okay, hold on. I got to add it to the stage. Here we go. Let's see. Where did it go? Oh my gosh. I just had the dumb video.
There we go.
Hold on. Let me enlarge it. Okay, is it good?
Yeah. Is your volume up?
Yeah. What's that one?
Yeah, he's Mussolini's definitely frowning a lot more than Trump is. But yeah, I mean, their mannerisms are similar. I mean, you see that a lot. I mean, like I said, it's easy to mimic mannerisms. It's not that hard.
What if they're all like some weird alien that just knows?
No, but I guarantee you, like if you did like behavioral studies, you'd probably find like there's only like 16 or 17 behavioral sets that humans possess. There's nothing fancy about that.
It's just crazy. Everything.
It's a stretch, but it is funny.
Trump is like just weird, and then Biden's just boring.
Oh God!
I swear, Eric Grimsrud has a breakdown of Trump as the Mabus name, and it gets so technical my brain can't even go there. But listen to him; he's coming back on in January. But I mean, I'm not going to say Trump's Mabus. I hope he's not, because I don't want to be a Church of Trump. That would be a downer for me. But there is some weird stuff. Like, to me, Trump and the Napoleon, like Napoleon, Hitler, and there's Trump. There's something there in that dynamic. I'm not going to say it's 110%, but there's something there. That's who Nostradamus considered the Antichrist. Napoleon, Hitler, and then Mabus, the remission. I heard John Hogue say Napoleon was a tumor, Hitler was a cancer, and Mabus is the remission. I always thought that's creepy because I'm in remission. If I'm supposed to be that, somebody better give me some financing and some cyborg backups, add-ons, cyborg updates. But anyway,
but this might at some point become mandatory. The government may force that stuff on us.
Yeah, but it's interesting no matter what you think. But both political parties to me are just so boring.
They're nuts. They're all a bunch of insane.
You can just hear it in my voice. They're so boring. Bernie excited me because he wanted to help people. I don't even know where the hell he's involved.
Maybe we should look at a statistic that states what the average age of the Senate and the House are.
Yeah, he's not running. He's on his ancient status. I was afraid they embalmed him by now. So, but I like Bernie's passion and just I know what it's like to be struggling for insurance when you have cancer.
Oh, wow. Okay, check this out. This is just one sentence that came up on just a search. The average age of senators in the 118th Congress is 64 years old. This is unchanged from the 117th Congress, which I guess is the last 4 years. There are 54 senators older than 65. Wow.
How many?
54 senators older than 65.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot.
But the average age is 64. So do the math. So the rest of them are probably 63, 62,
I saw.
59.
I mean, how familiar are you with some of these right wing personalities? Like, have you ever heard of Benjamin Fulford?
No.
That's a guy that's pretty popular at Before It's News, and he just released some statement saying he knows someone in special forces that uncover. I'm not saying this stuff is true. A lot of it's bat crap. Maybe some of it may be true. I don't know. But that there was a warehouse discovered in San Francisco filled with organ like harvesting and cannibalism with bodies and just weird like a meat packing plant for humans. And
Wow.
the guy seems serious about it, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything on the news. I'm not sure all that stuff always goes to the news, but I have to see a
Yeah,
lot.
something that big should have gone across all the late major networks, you would
I don't
think.
trust a lot of it. I have to see a lot of right wing extremism, like the extreme side of it. It's probably why I'm so jaded. That revolves around all the QAnon bull barf. It's like a lot of these radio show personalities on the right wing extreme side. They seem to use that QAnon as a gospel of sorts. There's
Hmm.
Phil Godlutsky, which is one of them that he's always using Q terminology. There's even Michael Jaco, Navy SEAL. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's one of them. It's just a bunch of like right wing radio personalities on videos like Rumble and YouTube. That's what I have to share there to these people, these
Yeah.
people. But I get so sick of it. Like it just makes me want to throw up looking at it. But I also can post UFO and spiritual stuff and whatever I want. But the political crap is what really gets the bangs. I mean, I bring 1.6 million hits there a month, but the political stuff, somebody named SG Anon, which is somebody like there's these little weird personalities they whoop off to, and I have to share this stuff. It's kind of like being in hell in a lot of ways because I'm not even really political, and I have to like look at political crap every day. No wonder I'm in a bad mood all the time. And then there's always new escalations of war, like every day it just goes up a notch, which that's really happening. But when you have to see all of it, like from
Yeah.
different media sources every day, like I think I've already gone
Well,
nuts looking
you're
at it.
probably old enough to remember watching Vietnam on the nightly news. I mean,
Yeah,
from 67 to 75 or whatever, 74, 73, whenever it was over, it was on the news every night. Wednesday night, there was some, horrible visions from Vietnam every night. I remember seeing that guy shooting, getting shot in the head
oh
on the
my god,
news. They,
I
they,
was
they
like
weren't able to stop it fast enough to censor it.
one or three. Or one or two, three. You've got to see it more than me. But who is the guy?
Yeah.
Is that the guy that the Filter song's based on? Hey man, nice shot. That song's about a dude that shot himself on the news. But I
Oh,
don't
and
know.
he didn't shoot himself. Someone else shot him.
Oh,
He was
okay.
a prisoner, and the South Vietnamese colonel shot him in the head right on live TV. There's
Well,
another one, like also that a monk, a Buddhist monk, lit himself on fire in the middle of the street. That was also on like the Wednesday night nightly news on NBC. I recall.
yeah, that's on Rage Against the Machine album, right? Yeah, that guy on.
That probably, yeah, I think that's correct. But the other one, I don't know. I don't know that song.
And this Filter. It goes, hey man, nice shot. You've probably heard it. You just don't remember. It's like they played on the radio all the damn time.
It's possible. I've forgotten more stuff about the radio than I can remember.
It's by Robert Patrick. He used to be in Nine Inch Nails, and he made Filter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
But
don't. I may have heard of that song. I really, honestly, don't. Have never heard of the band before.
yeah, just look it up. It's a good band, Filter. Filter. And gosh, when's this guest getting here? We got a while, a little bit.
In kind of a while.
Get back to alternate reality, Vlad the Impaler.
Bad.
What about here's something I've been into, and
Hey, how about this? What
okay,
if Vlad went into space? Would he need a spacesuit?
no,
Think?
no, he's Vlad. He has powers. He can just fly around like Superman.
I mean, if you grant him all the fictional powers that were granted him by Hollywood, like turning into mist and changing into other various animals, maybe. But I think if he had just freshly fed on a human and had a full fresh infusion of blood, he'd probably die.
Yeah,
But if he was like, just woken up with no blood in him, he might be able to walk around without an atmosphere.
yeah. I know there's some Vlad the Impaler comics coming out that look pretty cool that are on Kickstarter, but I don't know if it's still going or not. But that's an interesting one. And also, oh, one thing I'm getting into, and I've had to cut back my comics a lot because I'm poor,
Yeah.
and my boss, my Christian Trump boss, keeps screwing me out of money every month. My bonus money basically owes me like $3 grand now, and it's just funneling our money to like Africa, helping some weird, not preacher, like the weirdest crap ever. I get my regular pay, but this dude, oh, it'll be back to normal in December. It's like, dude, you owe me like $4 grand now, and I have no money. So that's my life. Every time you talk to him, he's like, rah, 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 Jesus, Jesus, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, oh, you're just making me hate them all. Shut up.
How about Washington, Washington, money, money, money?
Yeah, if you're so close to Jesus, how about having a little manifestation my way?
Yeah.
Give me what you owe me, clean up your house. I don't got no problems with the J Man, but if you got the direct line, send me a hit. But because of him, I've basically been sitting around with 0 cents, so it's been really hard, especially when you're earning it and someone's just being irresponsible with it. So that's hard. Uh, I pray it gets fixed, but hopefully I don't have to take Vlad the Impaler methods into my own hands at some point. But Tony Soprano, baby. What would Tony Soprano do? Not what I would do. I'm too tired, but what would Tony do? I'll send him there astrally.
I can picture him going out now with a crowbar in one hand and a gun in the other.
Yeah. It's just everything sucks. But as far as I do have, I think Whams for this one next when we start off. Neil Donald Walsh. You probably never even heard of him. You're like a godless heathen. But Conversations with God. He's an international bestseller. Neil Donald Walsh in January, and then Eric
Cool.
Grimsrud. I'm slow at scheduling, but slowly but surely. But no, Conversations with God is some books that I've read that have helped me. I've said they've kept me out of prison, and it's basically there's a movie and Henry Cesnary,
Journey.
yeah, plays him in the movie, and the movie's really good. And it's not what you think. It's not like some Christian. Like I don't even think he quotes anything from that. It's basically a guy that's had such horrible bad things, bad relationship, broke his neck. He lays down, and this is real. What really happened? He was eating out of dumpsters, and he went to go lay down in the park and said, "God, please don't let me die here," in a tent that he couldn't even make. That someone else helped him. That's probably the case with me. Help me! But anyway, he basically started to hear an inner voice. And the first thing, one of the big things it said, "You got me all wrong." And when people asked him about what would God say to us, the first thing God says, "You got me all wrong." And basically the message is God's not telling all these people to kill in his name, that religion, abuses and manipulates, that there's a force there, an energy, the universe, an intelligence that's a super intelligence. And religion is a failed way to interpret it. And he has a conversation with this voice, and it's really good. He's talking to some kind of supreme deity from Star Trek. Is the best way to describe it. But I really love those books. So it's funny. The first time I interviewed him, he goes, "Jeffrey, you're 10 minutes late," and I'm never late for anything. There was trouble getting through Skype because of his number and some security code. I remember Joe was there that night, Joe Montato, when we couldn't get through, and Neil gave me his phone number at his house, and I called him. "Jeffrey, you're 10 minutes late." Oh my God, my heart probably jumped out of my body. It's weird when you've read people all your life and then they're on the show with you, like Joe R. Lansdale and Al going back and Neil Donald Walsh. It's just like you can be as
Oh,
calm or think you are as you want, but you start freaking out a little. Like it gets weird.
yeah, I did a little. I did a little hero worship on Joe's show. He had Larry Elmore on, and he's a
I've heard of him.
famous D&D illustrator for the game. Hung out with Gygax and all that whole crew, and so the focus really was to get the Writers of the Future. But when I had my chance, I was like, you got to tell me some things about it, because I remember your name in all these books that were on my shelf, and they've been destroyed, and it was a horrible thing. But it was so awesome to talk to him about that stuff and his artwork, because you see the man's artwork, but I'd never seen the man before. I had no idea what he looked like. But he's about my dad's age, and
I've heard.
fantastic artist.
And he's Dungeons and Dragons illustrator. I've definitely heard the name.
Yeah, he's thousands of images that he's done, cards. He might even have done some of the X-Men cards that I have. It's like a baseball card set that has the '90s X-Men teams, the blue and gold teams. It's a really good set. I got the whole thing, like 250 cards.
Cool.
Yeah, different artists, different things. Just metal foil cards, clear see-through cards. There's like about 150 that are just like regular baseball type cards, but the metal foil ones are the neat ones.
Are they worth a lot?
I haven't really looked, but I have some duplicates of some, particularly the metal foil cards. I'm gonna have to check eBay and see what they're going for.
You never know. I used to have a
Yeah.
lot of garbage pail kids. I wish I still had those. They were worth money. I used to
I remember those. Yeah.
sell them at school. I have a book that has them all in it. You can buy like a hardback that has them all in it. Like just you flip the pages. It's not cards. It's just like on a page.
We had wacky packages back when I was a kid.
Wacky.
You remember those? Wacky packages. Remember those?
So the monsters with like weird eyes hanging out and stuff.
Strange things like they would take normal products and like monsterfy them. Yeah. But yeah, they were the thing. You get a sticker and like 3 or 4 cards and a piece of stale, white powdered bubble gum.
Remember the little pink wrestler monsters called Muscles?
No,
That's old.
California raisins were my era, dude.
My dad got those for me from Hardee's.
California raisins?
Yeah, yeah. When I was going through chemo.
I had one of those. A couple. I can't. There's one in this house somewhere. I don't know where he is, unless the dog got him.
I don't have them anymore, but you can find them pretty cheap on.
I still have a California raisin dude upstairs. I think he's holding a surfboard, actually.
You can find them on eBay pretty cheap. They're not expensive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having them again just for that California raisin smell.
Yeah.
They have a certain smell to them that I remember. But no, it just seems like every week is just new crap. Like this week, we thought the cat ran off through the door when we had it open just when we were cleaning. And she, normally you wouldn't think she would ever do that. So I'm freaking out there, looking everywhere. We're driving around, asking people. Turns out she just went up under the couch in a weird way with the reclining chairs, and when it never done it before, ever, and she did it. But luckily, we found her, and she wasn't ate by owls, so that's a good plus. But it just scares the crap out of you, and you're out there like yelling for your cat, and can't find her.
That's what happened to one of my cats when I moved. I thought that in the hustle and bustle with all the I had sequestered them in one room, but after all the moving out, I couldn't find her. And I thought, oh God, maybe someone must have gone in here by accident and let her out because all the doors were open. And I had everything out of the house, and I was like making the last run. I was like, this is the last time I can actually be in this apartment. Like, I got to find this cat. And I looked in every room and closet, and there she was, tucked all the way deep in the back of the closet. I was like, oh, thank God. Grabbed her, stuffed her in a bag. I'm like, you're coming with me.
And then today, Jackie, my dog, suddenly has the power to jump an entire fence in the backyard that's really tall and wooden. That's insane. Christina looks back there, and there's Jackie jumping over the fence like Olympics. So now that's changed that whole dynamic to where I have to go out there every time now with a collar on her and just insanity, like just weird stuff. And then we had a bunch of weird flies getting here, which for some reason flies are really bad outside in Florida this year. Everybody's complaining about it, but somehow they got in here, and it's doing better. But they'd never gotten in here like that. And it was like The Exorcist or something. But
Yeah, we had an Egyptian fly infestation this summer in the kitchen.
why are they really called Egyptian? Is that
No, it's like Egyptian plague
why?
level.
Okay, that's what I figured. I just didn't know if that was like what they really were. That's what
No, no, no.
that's
It
what
wasn't.
I
They weren't
figured.
Egyptian flies. They were just it was Egyptian epic level. What do you call it? Curse of the Egyptians.
That's what I've compared it to before,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. It's just been nonstop crap and throw in
I,
being broke at the same
I'm
time.
thinking my kitchen doesn't have a garbage disposal, and I'm thinking this summer what I'm going to do, or maybe before summer hits, I'm going to change the sink from a split bowl to a single bowl, and put a garbage disposal underneath of it. We have one at my job that's on clearance for $143, and on payday we get a double dip on our discount, so I'll get 20% off of it, and I think I might just buy it then, and then I'll have all the parts I need except for the sink bowl. And I think having the garbage disposal is going to help keep the fly situation down, because I think that's where they're coming from, is inside the trap, because I don't have something to destroy the food on the way down.
We have a bunch of old dogs here that are transitioning, and the one particular one she has like bad, weird smelling urine, and put outside on the porch, and they love it. Those flies, and we even clean it no matter what you do. There's just a bunch of old dogs here that are croaking, and it's sad. But, hopefully they transition. I think a lot of them, several of them, will be. It'll be more peaceful for them if they did at this point. And no one can really take them to a vet. No one. We're poor, so that's sad. But they're old, an old poodle, an old wiener dog, and it's just the way it goes. You get
My
old.
German Shepherd's playing with one of his bones, and he just crashed into my door. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's his name again?
Admiral Clementine S. Cadittlehopper. The middle name is Smog. Smog.
Nice, like the dragon.
No, like smog, like California smog. We call them that because on the Beverly Hillbillies movie, they're trying the Beverly Hillbillies are trying to figure out what smog is, and the actor who plays Jethro, the dumb one, he goes, "I reckon it's a small hog, but we changed it to small dog, so we reckon it's a small dog, but he ain't small. He's like 8 months and 90 pounds."
And you're listening to United Public Radio 107.7 FM New Orleans. And coming up is Wile Young from Dead Sky Publishing. His book's For a Few Souls More. Jay just had 102-degree temperature. And me, I feel like somebody hit me around a little bit with something. Santa hit me with a shovel. And hopefully we're not getting a pneumonia. Have you been seeing all the crap about that? That seems like the new scare.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what I had. I mean, I was for like 3 days straight delirious with the fever. I mean, it was just bad.
Gosh.
Yeah, I could barely walk up down my stairs without getting dizzy.
Gosh, gosh. Well, I'm glad you're better. I don't feel that good. Hopefully, I'm not croaking. But
I was taking those Alka-Seltzer severe cold, cough, and flu drops, the fizzy drops. It knocked the hell out of it. I'm still, you can hear it in my throat still, but I'm much better.
Yeah. Well, I want to see that new Godzilla -1.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
They say, I know it's subtitles, and I don't mind that. But I mean,
I wanted to go check out that Monarch show, but I didn't want to have to pay for another damn service just to watch one show.
I got it on. Somehow PlayStation gave you like 6 months free of it, and I didn't. I need to take it off after January, so don't charge me. But
Yeah,
I've been watching that Monarch, and I think that ends right around January, so it worked out pretty good. Like I never even had an Apple, but I look on there, and it's like a lot of these streaming places are just like we've talked about this before. They just are trying to get you to buy movies, watch movies with commercials. And Apple, I was like, there's some good stuff on there, but I was kind of like, there needs to be a little bit more on there. I know there's Strange Planet, that weird cartoon by the Rick and Morty dude. Not the one that had the sexual allegations, the other one, Dan Harmon, and it's based on that little comic with the blue aliens. I don't know if you've ever seen that Strange Planet. It's like some funny little comic you see on Facebook all the time, but
No, I haven't seen it. Well, maybe I have. Yeah.
has little blue aliens on it that say funny, weird stuff about their emotions. But there's a whole local cartoon series on there on Apple. But I don't know. Everyone's just weird. Like even scheduling is weird. Like Lilwin, for example, I used to schedule with them all the time, Lilwin Books,
Yeah,
and you
Llewellyn.
write them now and they just ignore you, and nothing was bad. It's just I don't understand some. I've had other places do that. All of our interviews have been great. There's never been one complaint. It's just suddenly they just throw you away like a dead fish, and they don't care about you anymore. It's like, where are you? I need some guests. I don't know. It's just weird.
Maybe they don't have anything they need advertising for. That's when they push everybody.
It's a lot of weird stuff like that over the years with stuff, and just stuff that there's no reason. I mean, nothing bad happens, so it's just weird. And then the Church of Mabus radio site, that's just been so weird. It's done, but not done. The free website guys finished it, but now it's like in this state of perpetual suspended animation where you have to do these certain things to get it ready to launch it live. And then someone's helping me, but that seems kind of slow lately. So I'm not. I have to start begging on Facebook for someone to help me because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So now it's just sitting there with weird French language all over it. It's like things are just crazy. Everything just feels like poop lately.
Yeah. Yeah. I just looked at the Church of Maybe site. It's still the same, and nothing has changed.
Well, here's the thing: it's finished, but they sent all these steps you got to do to launch it live. And I'm looking through all the steps, and a lot of it's some complicated, weird stuff. And the guy was helping me with it. He's supposed to, but he just seems like he's, I don't know, gotten slower and weirder or something. I don't know. So now I'm going to get someone else to help me figure it out. But, or maybe I'm just going to break down, try to do it myself. I've just been so crazy and busy, and I work, So I don't know. They tell me what to do, but it's not that. It's complicated, weird stuff like with Google Analytics and all this weird stuff, and I'll figure it out somehow. I'm going to call him, and then if he ain't going to do it, I'll be trying to get somebody with some WordPress skills off Facebook to help me. That hopefully is not a con or whatever. I'll make sure they're not from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd make sure it's someone I knew, but I don't know. Everything's just crazy. Feels like poop. But we saw me and Christina saw Killers of the Flower Moon by Martin Scorsese. You know what that is?
I know who Martin Scorsese is. Yes.
I know that, but do you know the movie?
No, I do not know the movie.
It's a new movie that just came out. It's on streaming. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio,
Oh.
Robert De Niro. Oh, it's got a lot of people in it, a lot of natives, and it's about 3 hours. Oh, about 3 hours and 30 minutes, and it's based on a true story. It's like 1920s, I believe. The Osage Nation found oil on their land, and they suddenly, these natives, it's a true story, rose to, it's based on a book that's like a New York Times best-selling book. I forget the author, but they rose and became rich. And next thing you know, you got these natives that are just like yuppies, like cars, jewelry, dress nice. And this was in Kentucky, I believe, one of those places. And anyway, so the white man gets involved. He starts marrying these ladies and trying to get their oil from them. Well, guess what happens next? They start murdering them, poisoning them, killing them. So the deep go to the white men, and it's crazy. Like it'll make you want to throw up. Like it's just so they show like the death scenes. One prick, uh, his native wife's, you know, pushing
Yeah.
the baby carriage, and he just shoots her through the window dead right at the baby, like that, and puts the gun in her hand. and it's basically just white dudes, just the same ones that raped and pillaged them the first time, just doing it again, and it'll make you throw up. Like I didn't throw up, but it was
Yeah, it looks badass. What's it on? What network? Oh, Prime.
you
And
probably
File on
have to
Prime.
pay for it. You probably got to pay for it.
Yeah,
It's Apple. It's coming to Apple, but it's on like pay streaming now.
yeah. You gotta pay for. I gotta pay for that one though.
Yeah, I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
no. The clip on IMDb, it looks like definitely 1920s, like Tommy gun era.
But it's crazy. Like it's
Yeah.
basically these white dudes just swindling natives and poisoning them. Well, I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was like the hero. No, he's like just sleazy dude too. So I guess
There's yeah.
they're all just sleazy white dudes getting the natives, and it's sad. And there's a part in it that this is no big deal. At the end, all the living relatives of the nation come together and dance and stuff. Like a lot of them, there's a big dance, like in modern times, like just a tribute to them all and stuff. But definitely very sad, but worth the watch. I mean, it's not something I'd want to watch over and over because it's depressing.
Yeah.
It's sick. Like it makes you sick. I have Cherokee in my blood, supposedly. I mean, I've seen my great great grandmother in a picture, and she looked like she definitely was and had the clothes and stuff. But most of mine, it don't come up in DNA, but that's hard to read anyway.
Well, I mean, just in general, the history that this country has with particular native tribes, not even just here, but all across the uh, American seaboard. Just the things they did, giving chicken pox laden blankets to children. I mean, that's just who does it? That's disgusting.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand this world. Let me grab this incense for a second. Hold on a second. What have you been watching lately? Talk for a second.
I've actually been going back and watching the old Frasier show and watching his new show at the same time, which they just dropped I think the 10th of the last of the season, 10 episodes, but it was a pretty good run. It took some 3 or 4 episodes to get its feet going, but the new Frasier show is pretty funny. And there's a nice guest actress at the end of the last show. So I'm not going to give any spoilers away. So you should go watch it.
I just got an incense holder thing, and I didn't realize it had all this dust on it. And then the dust came off everywhere on the cat, the bed, and me. So I'm kind of like this.
Did you get any of that Gonesh stuff I told you to look at?
I need to relook at it. I got some Nag Champa, and I got these weird. If you look on Amazon, there's some vampire, werewolf, and weird incense that's like werewolf, but it's kind of like Nag Champa. It's strong. It's called a vampire orchid and werewolf and Dracula's blood, but it's kind of like the real good incense. I've been getting that.
Yeah, the Gonesh brand is pretty good. I found a whole drawer of it the other day, and Diane's been burning some today. It smells pretty good.
Yeah, that's real strong, like the drops or something. Well, it's like
they have cones and sticks. I don't think they have any oils. They might, but they're not like they do have traditional, flavors, sandalwood and patchouli and what have you. But they have these numbered ones that are like 2, 4, 6, and 8 and 12 are pretty nice, like flowery kind of ones. And then they have like odd ones that are like outdoorsy type smells, like like a pine forest kind of smells, and not so much flowery and fruity, but maybe more pungent, more spicy, I guess is the word.
Yeah. Q.
Yeah, and I've always enjoyed. That's the only kind I ever burn in my house, anyway.
Yeah, that's I do the Nag Champa, or there's some him. What is it? Him white sage, like a company called it HEM. I like them a lot. They're pretty cool, for sure. And I know our guest is coming in the last 30 minutes. Hopefully, there's no weirdness with that. But I saw Oppenheimer. That was pretty good. I mean, it's not something I'd watch again anytime soon, but I liked it. As you know,
I'll probably wait till it comes for free. It's still rent or buy, I think, on Prime.
Yeah, and it's basically, you know the story about the dude that made the atom bomb.
Manhattan Project, yeah.
And how's it going, Sun Dragon? Sun Dragon. Uh, and I'm just trying to say it right. I'm an idiot, but Oppenheimer's worth the watch. It's long though, like 3 hours, and it's basically you know, about the dude that made the atom bomb, and it's kind of depressing, but
The new
shows.
Indiana Jones movie's 3 hours long.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It was
Uh,
pretty good. I fell asleep halfway through, so I had to watch it in two different parts. So I want to try to watch it where I can watch it all the way through without being tired from work.
yeah, those 3 hours are some real bangers. Killers of the Flower Moon's good though. I would recommend it.
Yeah, I didn't know that look. It does look good. I want to try to see if I can find that later
Try
on.
to say a prayer for the victims and stuff. You know,
Yeah,
that's some creepy. But I haven't read the book. It seems like God. I don't know if I want to read it. I've seen the movie. That's good enough. I don't know if I need to soak in that anymore. It's just
there's been quite a few movies that I've seen the movie first and then read the book, and a couple movies where I read the book first then saw the movie. I think I'd rather watch the movie first and then go back and read the book for the first time and see how close they got it, rather than go the other way. Because I think people find themselves being more disappointed when they've read the book. They have a certain level of expectation, and when that movie doesn't reach that level, they're let down. So if you see the movie first and then read the book, you may not have that same level of expectation. You know what I mean? Less likely to be disappointed in their interpretation of the book.
I was disappointed that Devil in the White City got canceled. Supposedly, Martin Scorsese, Keanu Reeves, and that's that H. Holmes book. You know, the murder
Yeah.
Chicago dude that got canceled on Hulu or something. What
Wow.
are they thinking? That's got to be a hard one to make, though. I mean, if you're really gonna do it right, I mean, that's not gonna be easy. You got to make the murder hotel. You got to the viciousness. Like you got the main. I'm sure you'll have police and stuff in it, but that guy is he's one that's always creeped me out of all this stuff, paranormal stuff. I've had Jeff Mudgett on, who's a living relative of Herman Mudgett, and that's the name. One of the I think H. Holmes' real name. He had a lot of different names, but Jeff had that series on a History Channel, American Ripper. He
I
thinks,
saw it.
yeah, he thinks he's Jack the Ripper, and I don't know if that's true, but I mean, I wouldn't rule it out either.
Some of the evidence stacks up. I mean, there's some pretty compelling evidence with him.
Holmes in a train log or something like someone signed Holmes in a dossier or something in the
Hmm.
train.
Yep.
That Holmes, I think at first I heard Leonardo DiCaprio was going to play him. Thanks, Dragon. Those are from Retro A Go Go. If you go to the site Retro A Go Go, uh, cool stuff there. Doug Pagash has been on about those. I have a whole room filled with them. They're basically Ben Cooper old Halloween costumes turned into masks. And let's see if I could do a tour of some of them. Let's see. Check it out.
Yeah.
That's a NASA zombie, some brain alien, which I don't know. So
Bride
that's
of Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Guess that one. What's that one right there? You know that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a Martian dude from the Mars movie.
Yeah, Mummy, Creature of the
The
Black Lagoon,
creature.
Werewolf.
Wolf.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a bunch more over on the other side. He has so many. I don't have them all. I can't afford them all. But
They're like the old '70s masks that we got. That's what we put on our faces at Halloween. Is those exact colors and everything.
I
I
want, if I,
particularly remember the two that are behind you for sure.
yeah, I want to switch them out and let some others have some sunshine in the show because they're getting jealous. The spirits are getting jealous. They're gonna get me.
Spirits are restless.
It's probably why the flies are so bad coming in here. Like they eat
Yeah,
you.
they're telling you it's yeah. Look at the patterns they make on the wall. Maybe they're spelling out change the mask.
We've had some weird stuff. Me and Christina saw going down. We talked about this on the last show. Going down the highway, and there was like a big golden weird wolf on the. And I don't know what it was, but it was just like going down.
Golden Cold, wouldn't it? You guys have mountain lions down there, so I mean,
It wasn't that. It was like at first I thought coyote, but it just seemed big and like weird, white and fluffy. Like it's just weird. I don't know what the hell it was. But and of course, we thought Skinwalker, Wolfman, and all that stuff. The natives say you do see them a lot on the side of the road. I'm not saying it's that, but I'm just saying there was just something weird about it that I don't understand. Supposedly, the only wolves I've heard around here, and I didn't even know there were any, was some red wolf, weird coyote wolf thing. And I looked those up; it didn't look like that. But I've been watching a lot of weird documentaries with Christina on Tubi, uh,
hmm
American Werewolves, which is Seth Breedlove's Small Town Monsters. Retro A Go Go. Like it's like Retro A Go Go. Talking to Sun Dragon. I know you're on my Facebook. I saw you there. What's up? But our number one fan. It's not Gabe anymore, Sun Dragon. Gabe has to work.
yeah, Gabe got gainfully
But glad
employed.
to have you here and on a Friday night. But I don't go. Even if I was not doing the show, I would not go anywhere probably on a Friday night. But I always get in trouble when I seems like the more people I meet or we try to meet, it just leads to trouble somehow. Like they're on some kind of crazy drug or just some kind of weirdness that it's like I just give up. People are too crazy. Like, I can't do it anymore. I've always been a hermit, so that's no big deal to me. I'm used to it. But I don't know what that thing was, but American Werewolves is on Tubi, and let's see, what else did I see? Oh, Dogman Triangle. That's another good one. That's about. I mean, these documentaries on Tubi are from Small Town Monsters. Also, Skinwalker Rogaroo. Like that's what they call it in Joe territory. The S Walker, a Ragaroo, like a werewolf,
Ragaroo.
and it's in their culture. They used to threaten their kids with it. Don't go in the woods. The Ragaroo will get you. Joe's
Yeah.
probably heard of it. But anyway, here's the thing. There's like some weird native legends of crazy crap, cannibal tribes and stuff that cursed the land and they got made kind of like Skinwalker Ranch weirdness. So there's a lot of stuff. But the coolest thing about those documentaries I'm mentioning is there's real witnesses in there, and I believe they're real people who genuinely believe they saw it. And one of them guys like, I pissed my pants. And
Hmm.
he was anonymous and blackened out. But I'm telling you, there's something to the werewolf thing. Not saying that's what I saw. I don't know what it was, but there's something about it that's true, like a dog man. I mean, I think there's
I mean,
any,
there's got to be
any
something that's true to the legend. These kinds of creatures are talked about across the whole planet.
yeah.
All different kinds of creatures that can change shape. I mean, rakshasas, lycanthropes, which are,
Tiger.
werewolves.
Isn't that like a tiger in Dungeons and Dragons too? Like a tiger dude?
Well, it's an Indian legend. It's not. Yes, it's a monster in Dungeons and Dragons as well. But it's like all the traditional monsters. I mean, Frankenstein is a flesh golem. They have werewolves, lycanthropes, but these creatures they're not just Dungeons and Dragons. They're all from all cultures, all across the planet. All different types of shape shifting creatures.
Yeah, I just remember the one in Dungeons and Dragons, like a tiger dude. I
It's a
think he
yeah.
has like a robe
The
on.
drawing is a drawing of like a Burmese or something kind of tigerish humanoid dude. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Rakshasa, they're shapeshifters as well.
Our guest Wile Young is heading home from work. He will be here momentarily. And yeah, that's retro. I don't know. I'll spell it in the chat. I know that you'll have to just put that in the search engine and it'll come up as a link, but it may have like little dashes or something in it. There's a lot of cool stuff on there, like weird Betty Page stuff and Tales from the Crypt blankets and stuff like that, and just weird stuff. Like he does a lot of weird art and things like that. Uh, but yeah, I like getting into that dog man stuff. I mean, if you look at the Egyptian stuff, Anubis, am I saying that right? Anubis.
I
Uh,
knew this.
that's what one of the guys said that thing looked like. One dude was telling a story about how he was running to exercise and there were cornfields, and then he noticed that something was running with him. And the way he was going home, he could go left to his house and the thing would run out like right at him because the cornfield ended. So he went right to his friend's house, but still ended up seeing the thing that was chasing him, and it was like a wolf man. And he bust into his friend's house, freaked out, scared to death. And that whole, what, have you ever heard of that place, Land Between the Lakes? It's like a weird, let me look it up. It's a national park where they have a lot of dogman sightings, and there's stories about a family being killed there by it. And it's like in the town lore and all that stuff. But it's crazy. It's all in the dogman crap. I'm not saying it's true. I don't know. I wasn't there. But it's in Kentucky, I think. Wait, yeah, Kentucky, Land Between the Lakes. Look up Land Between the Lakes Dogman, and you will go on a journey. Like, there's just a lot of crap about it. Massacre at Land Between the Lakes, which there a lot of people claim some kind of family was ate there by a dog man. I know it sounds cuckoo magoo, but I mean, I don't rule things. I've seen enough weird stuff where I don't rule anything out. Like, I don't try to believe everything either. But I've seen giant shining light dudes leave my house and fly into the heavens completely sober, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it was my dad. Maybe it was like freaking biblical angels. Hell if I know. But once you see stuff like that, you're a little bit more open to people's stories. And let's face it, you don't really make any money lying at this crap. Maybe Stan Romanek did, which he was a Fruit Loop.
Yeah, I think very few people, if any, made any kind of money off of this. And
Unless
in
you're
most
like,
cases, it's ruined other people's lives in this kind of research.
yeah, that's Tubi, American Werewolves, and Skinwalker Ragaroo, and Dogman Triangle. That's a lot of cool stuff on there with Wolfman. There's a lot of Bigfoot stuff on there too. Uh, well, hopefully he'll be here soon, and we'll just talk about his book and let him talk a lot while I rest. And we got the flu. So what's up with this pneumonia? I mean, that's scary. Is it?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell I had, but
It's in the U.S. now, and they're saying it came from China. We better not even talk about it. Like, we'll call it.
whatever it was bad. I mean, the mucus was so thick at times that you could not breathe, and it had the consistency of like if you were to take, say, silly putty and mix it with crazy glue. I mean, it was. I can't even describe how just nasty it was.
We'll just call it the P word in case they
Yeah.
start censoring it. That way, it sounds nasty either way, whichever way you take it.
It was pretty gross. It was not fun. I mean, I spent several hours during the week just getting into a hot steam bath or putting a towel over my head and turn the hot water on to let the steam open up my lungs. It was that bad I couldn't breathe.
What is up with this Ukraine? They just keep kicking ass. Ukraine blows up China to Russia railway. How are these dudes still alive? Like, they're like Rambo. How do you still survive against Russia? That's what I don't understand. They're like killing Putin's
Russia's supply
allies.
is thinned out. I mean, they're far from home. They're not. They have to truck a lot of stuff down there to keep that war effort going.
They're like I saw something about 38,000 Russian troops dead from freezing outside to death. 38,000. Someone said Napoleon had a similar thing happen.
Yeah.
But this Ukraine's beating the crap out. I mean, I don't think they're. I mean, it's just they're definitely whooping tail back on some level. But I just don't even understand how they're surviving. You would think Russia would just wipe anyone out besides us.
Apparently not. I mean, they're using old equipment.
Russia seems kind of puss-tooty.
Yeah.
More puss-tooty than I guess I thought. I mean, they're not on many levels, but on a lot of levels, I'm just surprised it's taken so long or whatever for them to do it. I don't understand the whole Ukraine stuff. The whole thing is he's doing it because there are Nazis there. Well, yeah, there probably are some Nazis there, but there are Nazis here. But the way he's doing it, it's like he's killing civilians too.
Well, he
Like
said
crazy.
I think he's alluding more towards there's some Nazi technology there from the war that he wants to get his hands on that the Ukrainians have. That's the gist I'm getting. And then also his other reason is to reunite the former Russian states.
But he's basically using it as a excuse just to slaughter everyone, isn't he? Like he's just,
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
I mean, by that logic, we got some KKK and Nazis here too.
yeah.
We all deserve to die, like every one of us, because of these sicko Nazi dudes. So I don't understand the logic. It's like killing in the name of Jesus,
No one said it was
baby.
logical. I mean, this is just what Putin is saying.
I
His
don't like him.
reasoning for this stuff.
I don't
It's
like
nuts.
I don't like him. I think he liked the PP tape with Trump. Is what I think. I think they're both into the PP tapes. But
Yeah.
I don't like any of them. It's like rooting for one of these dudes. It's like rooting for Ted Bundy. It's just I'm not feeling it with anyone. There's like no one fascinating running at all. Is there like Cornell West, that like eccentric black dude? That's about the only one. I don't even know if he's running anymore. He's like Malcolm X or something. I like him, but he's on Bill Maher all the time and stuff. But I haven't watched Bill Maher in a while. I actually want to watch a Bill Maher interview of Roseanne just for the stupid of it, like just to see those two personalities clash. She was calling him MK Ultra,
Oh shit.
but I haven't watched it yet. I might watch it at some point. But so what's up? What have you been watching? Anything?
No, just really basically that Frasier show. There's 11 seasons, and
What's it
I'll
called
tell you,
again?
huh?
What's it called again?
The original Frasier show. There were 11
Oh,
seasons,
okay.
which is a long time for a spin-off character from Cheers to have his own show. And I never realized how just funny it was. I mean, it's so funny that you laugh so hard you got to back it up because you missed the next joke because you're laughing too hard.
Listen to this from Dragon. He's seen something with someone that looked like a giant spider run across the street while driving with a friend. She saw it too, jumped over a car and ran off in the woods opposite side of the road. Head scratching, no actual scratches on the roof, so guessing it was something spiritual type thing. Yeah, there are weird things that are like that. I've heard it. Like there's some extraterrestrial guidebook I have that has like these weird spider aliens in it. That look weird. But that's definitely weird. That's like something out of arachnophobia or something. But there's some things that I've heard like that. I mean, I've never seen anything like that, but I've heard stories about weird spider things. Uh, my weirdest one is like weird reptilians that were very weird, that seemed kind of astral. And one was like a hydra. I was partying. We're not going to go into that too much, but yeah, balls to the wall. But but anyway, one was like a hydra, one was like a humanoid that kind of like you would think like Medusa, but the hair was just weird. Like, I don't even know if it was hair, but it was like the lake was very warm water, and you heard this weird music, and they were like astral, like on another dimension. I kept seeing that face of Mars in my head, which I don't know. That might be BS. I don't know. But that was just something I kept hearing. And at first, I thought they were. I'm from Georgia and was raised Christian, and I mean, I think there's some truth to Christianity because I've seen shining light beings leave my house and fly into the heavens. So they probably like know a Christ consciousness Jedi dude or something. But as far as I thought they were fallen angels. I thought it was the devil when I saw them that night. But it was weird because they kept saying weird stuff like "I love you," sing, dance, and write. I say they were like Deepak Chopra, and I don't know what they were, but I'll never forget it. And it's almost like when you talk about it, you just feel it in your body. Like, do they know you're talking about them right now? Whatever the hell that was. Weird thing is, I saw this case all across. Like, there's a humanoid being sighting with antenna-like objects on its head, and that was very similar to what I saw. I found other cases of people seeing similar things throughout the South, and that was creepy.
There
But
are many cave paintings with depictions of headdresses with what
it's
can
like
only be described as antennas. Yeah,
it's like I
they're
saw like
it's
aliens.
in the Southwest. The Hopi Indians have drawn them. They're in the La Chaux caves in France. They have the same antenna wearing beings as well.
I was tripping, but I don't let that rule out anything. I've seen stuff doing that, and I've seen stuff completely sober, nothing, both. So I think it's a tool, and shouldn't be shunned, but it should be moderation and definitely, not abused. And I don't do it now. I'm scared to do it now. Like I'm afraid I'll have a heart attack. That was a long time ago, but uh, I've had similar experiences like that Chris Bledsoe guy that summons UFOs, and I've made balls of light move in the sky. Friends have said, Jeffrey, you're attracting them here. And I've felt like a UFO attractor. It's not quite like that now. Mostly now, it just feels like some dark side trying to beat my ass all the time because I'm some kind of light that I can't even live up to in this world because it's so crazy. Everything just feels crazy and uncomfortable. I did see a cool thing, and I'm thinking of it now. I saw Nine Inch Nails. Trent Reznor doing a introduction for The Cure in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That was pretty cool. And I listened to a bunch of Cure, but I saw that recently. I think it was pretty old, but it was just cool because he don't usually like go to things like that. So he was like real anxious and nervous and stuff. It's in the Nine Inch Nails channel. Been doing some Nine Inch Nails Cure binging. I listened to Pretty Hate Machine during chemo. That helped me through chemo. That was my soundtrack for chemotherapy when I got a nut chopped off. It's weird because on the back of that album, his head shaved and he looks like powder on the back of it. That's how I look too when I went through all that crap. Then of course I went back to school and kids said I had AIDS. It's like God, it's like I'm a virgin, you pricks. But you know, I'm not now, of course, but back then. But I'm still a virgin. That's right, the 50-year-old virgin. No, anyway, everything's just nutter butter. What's going on with Israel and stuff? Like he's
That
talking about he's just gonna blow up everybody. Russia, Iran, like that dude Netanyahu.
Netanyahu, yeah. Well, he's pissed. I mean, they've been trying to live there in peace since 1949. I mean, not that they're not saints. You know, they've done bad things too, but almost all the stuff they've done that people would consider bad, it's in retaliation for other things that happened first. And here's just how the first is they get attacked by these guys out of the clear blue sky, and you know, even if it wasn't Israel, I don't know why the rest of the community, the global community, isn't making a big fuss about this. You've got a bunch of terrorists, and even if they weren't terrorists, if they were army people targeting civilians, intentionally targeting civilians, that would have to be stopped immediately. But no one's doing anything. So it's bad. It's not going to be a good thing.
Well, the worst thing is, they seem, the whole thing's just bloodthirsty. I'm not for either side. I mean, I may have a little biblical weird thing, Israel. I don't go around talking trash about them in case that, comes into effect in the prophecy in the future or something. Like, I don't know, both sides seem a little twisted to me and all that stuff. But I mean, I know the terrorist side is the worst side, but I know I see, but there's Palestinians caught up in that who are not, who are probably innocent, of course. So it's just bad on either way you look at it. Not every Palestinian's a terrorist, but there's terrorists there running the show.
Yeah.
Giving away $10,000 apartment buildings to people if you got hostages, and they would give you 10 grand in your own house. Like one guy who got caught by Israel was saying that. That basically they probably lied to him. They probably wasn't really going to give that to him.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. Blood on blood leads to more blood. So it seems like it's all just about to cake over and blow up at this point. till we're dead. Hasn't happened sooner, really.
Well, I'm surprised. I thought the opening volleys of World War III were going to be when the Twin Towers were struck with those airplanes, but apparently that wasn't it. That didn't spark it off. And then there was our retaliation to that, and then there was some other conflicts, and now we've got this going on. If this doesn't spark off the World War III, I don't know what will. But hopefully it can be quelled. I mean, we got two major skirmishes going on with countries that are in control of nuclear devices. That's Israel, Russia, not Czechoslovakia, Ukraine, and all those surrounding countries. Everybody has nukes.
Yeah, and I saw something from this Monkey Works guy. It's one of those right wing whatever dudes, but he keeps up with air flight things, patterns, and what's going on. But he said that there's like a 900% up increase in Chinese immigrants crossing the border, I guess down south, like a pickup in it. And I was like, well, let me see if this right wing crap's true. And I searched it, and there were some major news sources like NBC talking about it. So what I'm trying to figure out if why would Chinese immigrants, don't they got to cross oceans and crap to get here? Yeah, I mean, so they're coming up through South America. That's kind of weird. It's like, are they about to get us? Is what I'm wondering, and I guess that's what everybody was thinking with that one. But like they're all coming up to come get ready to get us. World War III.
Well, that's how Red Dawn started. Is they came up through Mexico and split the country in half, right through the Colorado mountains or the Rockies.
What I'm seeing, they're doing that, like 900% uptake up. It's increased. Mark Eddy representing. Ain't seen you in a while, old bean. Mark Eddy. But our guest should be here soon, hopefully. If not, I guess we'll just be chatting the last 25 minutes here.
Keep on chatting away then.
Chat. Let me see if there's a Facebook. That's Wile Young, Dead Sky Publishing, for a few souls more. And it's Weird West. Basically, westerns with weird stuff in it, like skinwalkers and werewolves and zombies and vampires and all kinds of stuff. And I like them. I like them. I want to watch Bone Tomahawk again. It's been a while. Monarchs.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier in the show. I got to look that one up too.
It's on Hulu. That's a good one if you need one.
Yeah, I got Hulu.
You watch the new?
It's Frasier? A good show. It's the first show. It's 11 seasons. It's funny. It was on 11 seasons for a reason.
I understand.
It holds the record for the most Emmys, 35 for a comedy show. It used to hold for all of the Emmys. It had the most until Game of Thrones got 36 or 37 Emmys.
And the thing with what was I going to say? Oh, I understand that there's certain. I know one guy was saying his feel-good show that he watches all the time is Seinfeld or something. Like I could see Frasier being one of those kind of comfort shows where people just like watch it a lot over and over.
Seinfeld's funny too.
I like Seinfeld, but my comfort one is Curb Your Enthusiasm. I like that one a lot. With Larry.
Never got into that, but the one dude with the glasses, he's kind of funny. David
Larry
something or other.
That's the guy that co-wrote Seinfeld.
Yeah.
He's the one that helped create Seinfeld. One of them. I think there's two of them, but he's definitely one of the dudes. If not, I think there's two of them that did it, but he's definitely one because the people from Seinfeld are on that show all the time, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just funny. And then his black friend Leon's funny. And then Vince Vaughn's on there and all kinds of people. It's just one of those funny shows. I don't really have many shows like that. Most of my shows are horror or something weird. Horror. Invincible is pretty good if you need a weird superhero cartoon. It's on Amazon.
What's it called? Decibel?
Invincible.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
It's got a J.K. Simmons in it or whatever. Yeah, he's like the Superman prick guy. And
yeah.
You ever see The Boys? The Boys is good.
No, I didn't see that one.
The Boys is a crazy superhero show. Seth Rogen's involved in Invincible and The Boys and Future Man on Hulu. Preacher, that show, that was crazy. But The Boys, and then there's Gen V, which is a spinoff. But The Boys is crazy as hell. Garth Ennis wrote the comics. He also did Preacher. But God, Kyle Urban's in it. Carl Urban? Kyle Urban?
Carl Urban, yeah.
Yeah.
He's an
Well,
Australian
well,
or New
well. If
Zealander.
it ain't the invisible. I can't say that word on air. He says that if it ain't the invisible sea. But I know who's about to be on it. Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
Okay, I know who that is.
Negan,
Yeah.
and also the comedian from The Watchmen.
Yeah, and he was also he was the cop in the Ant-Man series, isn't he? And the same dude.
I think so. I don't know. Might have to
I think it
look.
is.
I don't know if this dude's gonna show up now, man.
9:35.
Is it Mercury retrograde? I could have sworn I read it was, but it's just been
Who
non.
knows? I mean, it's things are going too right now. So I mean, something's got to kick.
I don't. I'm looking it up and see what's going on. Mercury, the planet of communication, stations retrograde in Capricorn from December 13th to January 1st. Oh my God.
5 more days. We just missed it.
Well, no, it starts up in 5 more days.
That's what I'm saying. We got
Yeah,
5 more days. This
yeah.
show missed it.
But you could start feeling it like right before, they say. Like, they say all kinds of. I think there's something to it. I don't go all cuckoo about it or anything. But I used to have a guy that I worked with, Dan Murakami, who worked for Steely Dan. You ever heard of that?
Oh, cool.
And he used to like tune their instruments and stuff for him. But he was always like, "It's Mercury retrograde. It's Mercury retrograde." And he's like this cool Japanese old dude at Petco with a ponytail. I'm trying to find him, but I can't. He would laugh so hard if he knew I did a paranormal UFO type situation show, because he loaned me the classic X-Files episodes, like the favorites in the series.
Yeah.
And then I eventually bought them, all of them. But it's funny because he would just laugh so hard. I want to tell him, but I don't know how to get him. He don't really like the computer, so and who knows? Hopefully he's still alive. But Dan Murakami, tuned for Steely Dan. Back in the day at Petco. Those are the days. God, working retail, 8 or 10 hours standing. That's what you got to do now, ain't it?
Yeah. 8 hours standing on solid concrete block.
These a-holes ever give somebody a chair? Like, what's the big deal if you're at a register? Why can't you have a chair? Like, I mean,
we'd have some stools at the registers, yes, but office chairs are only in the offices.
I don't know if this bro's showing up.
He's only got a few minutes. We got 23 minutes left.
Yeah, he said the last 30 minutes, so we'll see. If not, I'm just going to keep the title as is and just stick it up anyway, I guess. I'm too tired to do anything else.
So what photo was that in the background? Is that the sport model?
Where?
The UFO in the back of the picture of the background.
That's something of Joe's.
I think it's Bob Lazar, or not Bob Lazar. Yeah, Bob Lazar sport model.
I don't know. I don't know how you can look, but
looks like it. I have the model kit, and I haven't built it yet, but that looks like the top of it.
That's not how.
That's not it.
I don't know how to do it. I don't know if this dude's showing up. Bro.
22 minutes. And
I know. So if he's showing up, he's just doing a little commercial, which was what I was going to do anyway. But just check out Dead Sky Publishing. Their splatter western books. If you want some weirdness, some hardcore weirdness. And I like them. I want to get some old Stephen King books that I haven't read. I never read Christine. I've never read. I think I read Salem's Lot. I'd like to read it again though. There's some old ones that I haven't read. I never read Carrie.
We were at Best Buy today, and we were looking at some movies, and my girlfriend Diane picked up Pet Cemetery, the new one. I didn't get it, but then we found the classic Christmas stop animation movies, Frosty and Rudolph, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. So we
Well,
got those, and we got the three big Charlie Brown Christmas things: Charlie Brown Christmas, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, and I forget what the third one is, but three old Charlie Brown movies.
cool, 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 cool. Did you watch those as a kid?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I was the first Charlie Brown movie came out when I was born, so I mean, that movie's as old as me. So that's a standby. I got to watch that one every time it comes on.
I was trying. My phone was ringing, and it wasn't him. He don't have my number, but I was like, "Who's calling me?"
Yeah, you never know though.
Get the weirdest calls. Like there's this lady named Rebecca that just keeps calling. I mean, all these places just keep calling for her, like police and bills and weird stuff. Like I don't know. She must just like use my number for something or had it a long time ago. Just weird stuff. Just continually keep on calling for, and every person that calls my phone, besides a few, is like some telemarketer that ain't even for me,
I
asking
had
for
a,
someone else.
for the first year I had my car. It's a brand new car. I got these emails and phone calls. You know, your warranty's about to expire. It's brand new. How is it going to expire in 1 year? Come on.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Everything's crazy. Well, we got one more show this year. That's I think Wham's here, and that's it. So that's gonna be. We're taking a break after the last next show.
The Christmas sabbatical coming up.
It'll be a show with Wham next week, and then 2 weeks off, and then come back the fifth and Wham's for that, and then we'll go from there. And I guess just with your schedule, just let me know the weeks you're off because I didn't even know you were doing the show this week.
Oh, you didn't? I thought we were on this one. That's okay.
It said you last said that you didn't know if you were scheduled, and I never know. But as soon as you can, just basically what I'm going to do with the schedule is just do Whams and then keep those open. And if you're off, let me know, and I'll let you sit in.
Yeah, I think my next Friday I'm off, and then or no, next Friday I'm working, and the next Friday after that I'm off. Oh, and I just looked at my schedule. I can't remember. But I'll send you what I got.
But we're not doing. I mean, we're fixing to do one more show, and then those next
Yeah.
2 weeks, then we come
Well,
back.
yeah. That's the good thing about my job is they usually give me 3 weeks out, so I can always give you 3 weeks
Okay.
worth of.
Wham is the first 3 Fridays of January. So after that's the next three, 26,
Okay.
2, and
Yeah,
9.
they won't be scheduling that for at least about 3 more weeks. So
I'm scheduling slow.
yeah.
What's up with Sun Dragon? You do interviews, man? What's up with you? You got some things going on. I bet you ever did a radio interview. Have to get you on sometime if you wanted to, but you may not want to. We're hard up for guests. Things are weird. Things are weird with guests. Like it's usually easier. Just this is weird. So far, I just got 2 people scheduled for January. Well, don't let Mark Eddy hear that. He'll be like,
Yeah. Is he still in the
Jeffrey.
room?
Yeah, I can use some more for next year. But let's see. So far, we got God, his name Eric Grimsrud on Trump Mabus, the Antichrist situation, and Eric's even tried to go to Biden to warn him about this.
Really?
Like some weird stuff. He's obsessed. It's funny because he's writing a book about it, and in it, I'm like the Woody Harrelson crazy character.
Are you?
But yeah, I mean, there's something weird to it, but I'm not going to go around. He's the Antichrist.
Yeah.
He wants to be the Antichrist, maybe.
They said that about just about every past president. They said it about Bill Clinton. They said it about Obama. They said it about Trump.
What
They
about
probably said it about Reagan back in the '80s too. I don't even remember. It was that far back.
Trump Tower 666? The address.
That's that's not necessarily his fault. You know that the
I
postal
don't
service does that.
know. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Where's this? Where's this dude at? It's like his electronics not working.
16 minutes.
I know. We could just he looked at my last message, so
Do we have an image of his book or something we can throw up there? Or
yeah, let me see.
you got the cover there on your screen.
Maybe he's going. Uh-oh, there we go.
We get him.
There he goes. The
There
man, the
There we
legend.
are.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's going. I hurried home from work, got pulled over on the way.
Oh,
My God. I figured something, man. Everything's crazy lately. Like this whole week for me has just been crazy. My cat vanished, and then I found out I went searching everywhere, freaking out, and I panic outside, asking neighbors and driving around fields. And then it turned out she just went up under a recliner couch, so she never goes, and stayed there under it. So I'm like freaking out, thinking my cat's dead. Today, my dog's jumping weird fences that it never jumped ever. It's like the devil teach my dog this just to mess with me or something weird. Like
Right.
she's like jumping over wooden fences and getting lost. But Wiley Young, I guess we got about 15 minutes and it's fine. Let's just get your book in there and Dead Sky Publishing.
Yes.
And we've been talking about Dead Sky Publishing all night, the books in the Weird West. First off, what got you kind of into Weird West? Like that's just I've had Joe R. Lansdale on. I love it, and I know splatter western is like a derivative of that. Gorier is what I say. And but what got you first into the Weird West?
Oh, I've always enjoyed horror stories set in the West, which I actually do feel like there's a difference between a horror story that's set in the West and a weird Western or splatter Western. And my love for that started with like the Clint Eastwood weird westerns, Pale Rider and High Plains Drifter, plus some of the Django movies from back in the day, those spaghetti westerns that had like an undercurrent of mysticism to it. And Lucio Fulci's Four from the Apocalypse was another one like that. That's where my love of those started. And of course, I grew up reading Joe Lansdale, so that's always a good primer for getting into that. But that's where my love for it started. And I always wanted to write a weird Western. And then, when Patrick approached me to do one, I was like, yeah, sure, I'm 100%. I'm in.
You have two or just one?
I have two.
Two. What's the other one?
We've got Magpie Coffin and For a Few Souls More, which is the sequel.
Okay, yeah, I got that, and I've read it. I'm just a pothead, and I forget stuff. But I have your first one, and I just got your second one, and that's just Joe R. Lansdale to me is like kind of like the father of it all, isn't he? Or is there anyone else that you can think of? It's like not really. Like, is there? I love Al going back. I know he does stuff. He's been on the show, the native angle of horror. But is there anyone else like that?
I mean, there's always been weird Western stories, even from back in the day, but no one really made it their own and like set down the genre. I mean, Matheson wrote a few weird westerns, but they never really achieved the same level of acclaim as stuff like I Am Legend or Duel or anything like that.
I'll have to check those out. Do you remember the names of them?
Not off the top of my head. You'd want to talk to Wesley Southard. He's a Matheson guru. He'd know him for sure.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Wesley Southard. How do you spell his last name?
Southard.
And what other kind of books have you wrote? You've always did horror?
Yeah, I've always done horror. I did. I've always, I grew up in East Texas, so all my stuff either has that. A lot of it takes place in and around there. My first book, Catfish in the Cradle, which is like Southern Gothic. I always elevator pitched it as a Creature from the Black Lagoon meets Rosemary's Baby. And then Shades of the Blackstone, which is a sort of a cosmic ghost story. Like this monument goes up in this town overnight that no one knows who built it, no one knows where it came from, and then this everybody who like passes through its shadow, it starts drawing out their inner. I don't know what y'all know much about a small town, but people there can be kind of bigoted, and it's not great. But anybody who goes in this under this monument, it draws out their inner prejudices as actual spirits that haunt them.
Yeah, and definitely creepy for sure. And as far as it's your second book with Dead Sky Publishing, or have you did other ones with them?
Catfish and Shades were both with Death's Head, which became Dead Sky, and Magpie and Souls were both with them as well.
And how long have you been writing?
I've been writing it's been 10 years, but like really seriously for about 5.
Is something you always wanted to do, and it just manifest it?
It wasn't always what I wanted to do, but then one day I just kind of woke up and was like, you know what? I really, really enjoy doing this, so let's see where it goes. And now it's become all I ever want to do.
Yeah, I have some books I've done, but mostly it's like written interviews with people, transcripts from the show. But it's been a long time, but I want to do more. But my biggest thing is just editing. Like I suck at it. I'm going to get help with that. Like imagination, I got you. But just like the intricacies of the everything with punctuation and stuff, I'm a mess. I can spell pretty good, but the editing, I'm just a freaking a mess for sure. And
you should pay my wife to do it. She's the hardest editor I know.
You seen Bone Tomahawk? I was telling Jay about that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, and it's on Hulu. I need to see it again. I know Sid Haig's in it. That's always a catcher for sure.
Right. I've got a DVD copy of it. I love. It was Bone Tomahawk. That was the first movie like in a long time where I was like, oh, and you know the scene I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's some rough ones in it for sure. Troglodytes. That's what Sid Haig says, I think. I think someone says that in it. It's been a while since I've seen it. But what are some weird Wests? I mean, there's some good ones out there, but they're hard to find. There's that
one that was done by Ron Howard, The Missing, with Tommy Lee Jones and Kate Blanchett.
Okay, I've seen that. It's been a while, but I've seen it.
He's got that warlock that they're chasing, who puts a spell on her when he gets the hair or whatever, and so I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I need to see that again. It's been a while. One I just saw, and it's not really. I don't know if it'd be considered Weird West. I just saw that Scorsese Killers of the Flower Moon. That was a rough watch. It's good though, but definitely twisted. I mean, a true story. We went into it earlier, but that's a good one if you haven't seen it. But
yeah, I want to watch that tonight. Actually, the Killers of the Flower Moon. That looks pretty good.
I'm waiting for it to stream somewhere so I can watch it because 3-hour movie. I'm like, oh man, I'm the kind when I watch a movie, I don't want to miss anything, so I want to be able to like pause it.
Yeah, it looks like it's on Prime.
You're gonna pay for it you got to pay for it right now. It's on Prime, but I think it's like $20 or something. But it's good, but depressing. It's not something I'd say, oh, I'm gonna watch that again real soon. It was like made you cry and stuff. Like it's bad. This white dude just screwing over Indians, like horrible, like poisoning them, killing their wives to get oil. Just sick for sure. And it shows the death scenes like really graphic, like. But it's definitely worth the watch. I haven't read the book either. But what anything in the future you got planned or Weird West? Anything?
So I've got 2. Gonna probably finish them up both next year. Both are Magpie Coffin related. The third, the first is Psalms of Nod, which is the last in the Magpie trilogy. So that will finish Salem's story. And the other one is actually a crossover with my good friend Stephen Kozanowski. This will be our third collaboration, co-writing. It's Black Magpie versus Hematophages. So it takes place before Magpie Coffin during the middle of the Civil War. So and I feel bad, but he's already finished like his half, and I'm like, hey, let me finish what I'm working on, and then I will get right on that.
I think one of the first things that got me in the Weird West was those Jar Lansdale, Timothy Truman, Jonah Hex.
Yes.
Those are just like I have a crappy tattoo from a biker of that cover of that first one. It's been
Oh,
through
that's
hell,
awesome.
but it's there. But yeah, those just like that. I've never seen anything like it. Like West and just weird, weird.
If you can get them, the Justin Gray, Jimmy Palmiotti, Jonah Hex run for DC is fan freaking tastic.
I have them, but I haven't read them.
Oh, go read them immediately. Like that they are so good. I love that run.
I'll check them out. I've had to calm my comic collecting because it becomes like a drug habit, like almost. There's just so many. Now I'm just focused on the GI Joe Kirkman situation with Transformers and Void Rivals. That whole Hasbro universe they're doing with Transformers and GI Joe. It's
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
the image is actually pretty damn good. Like there's Decepticons squishing humans. It just shows them like it's violent. But and there's a Cobra Commander comic coming out, so I'm going to focus on those and chill out and not go crazy anymore because I was going crazy. Like just
Yeah, you and me both. My comics overflow.
that's how it's like they're great, but once you start hitting 10 boxes or whatever, it's
Yeah, I'm glad I stopped when I did. I was at one point at coming up on 10 boxes. I think I have three, one long one and two short ones that make up one long one. That's it.
that
That's the extent of my comic book collection today.
Kirkman GI Joe Transformers and Void Rivals, and they're doing a Duke and Cobra Commander comic. The Cobra Commander comic looks crazy, so I'm just trying to stick for that. And I got creep shows, those image creep shows. I'm getting those. I like those. They do in the creep show.
They had a creep show steelbook DVD or Blu-ray at the store today when we were walking through.
Nice. There's a series
That's
on
awesome.
Shudder. It's not bad. Well, we're at the end here, Wiley Young. Perhaps if your schedule permits, sometime we'll have to get you on longer in the future. But we
Yeah,
appreciate it so much. For a few souls more, do you have a website or anything that you want to give out?
yeah. I mean, just go to all my social media. With Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. It's all at Texas Cthulhu, and my newsletter, Transmissions from Black Hole Planet 3, which keeps everybody updated.
Very awesome. Well, we appreciate it so much. Thanks to Dead Sky Publishing. We got RH Latch on next week, and that will conclude our show for the year. And we come back January 5th with the whole weird Trump Mabus Antichrist show with Eric Grimsrud, where he thinks Trump's Mabus the Antichrist, which I don't know if he is.
That'll be a good one.
And then Neil Donald Walsh Conversations with God. Like I'm surprised he's coming back on my show, but I like Neil. And there's all kinds of weird stuff. Like
Just don't be late, Jeffrey.
I do. Yeah, my first show with him, Jeffrey, you're 10 minutes late. Then I'm like talking to a Satanist dude to interview, so I just get crazy with it. But anyway, we appreciate it, everybody. Thanks, Wally. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dragon. We appreciate it. Everybody have a good Christmas. Get Bad Santa going. That's my Christmas jam. All right, take care.
Take care, guys.
All righty. There we go, everybody. You're listening to United Public Radio, 107.7 FM, New Orleans. Y'all have a good weekend and good night, everybody. Take care.
Happy holidays.